Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Cat's Corner. We have a great guest for today, but before we get to that, I'm going to ask you a favor. Just hit that subscribe button because we want to keep pumping more of these puppies out. Our guest is a guy who got his first taste of big league baseball last year, and I thought he showed very well. He's the Cardinals' rookie shortstop, Masyn Winn. Masyn, we appreciate you coming on with us.
Yeah, happy to be here, man. Really excited. Got this call from you, and I had to be here. Had to make some
I,
time.
I like it. I know you got stuff to do. So where are you right now, and how are you spending your off season?
Yeah, I'm in Houston right now. I'm with with the mama probably for the last year, but gonna head out to Florida here pretty soon to train, and it's been good. I mean, been out here. Just got back from the caravan and the winter warm up. Got to see all the great fans out there in St. Louis. It was very very cold out there. I'm from Texas, so I wasn't that 1 degree with -20 wind chill was a little crazy, but no, we're doing good. This off season's been real good for me.
Being around all the Cardinal fans at the warm up, does that get the juices flowing that baseball's almost upon us?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's every year, especially with the down year we had last year, just to see the fan support and all the love that they show us is really good. I mean, this is my second winter warm up, and both of them have been amazing. I mean, the fans have been I've been truly blessed to be a part of this organization and be with these fans.
So last year, 37 games as a big leaguer. I know there were some positives. I know there's some things that you obviously want to work on. What was your takeaway from your short stint as a St. Louis Cardinal?
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest takeaway was that I think I belong up there. Obviously I didn't, offensively I didn't have the production I would have wanted, but as far as nerves and as far as maturity, I think I belong up there. Yeah, my biggest I gotta start hitting. Did some mechanical changes, trying to gain some weight. I'm really trying to change my approach at the plate this year, but yeah, that's the biggest thing is I gotta start hitting, and I think I belong up there when I start doing that.
Do you put pressure on yourself? Like if the hits aren't going, do you feel the pressure? Do you put that on yourself because you're a guy who's had success at every single level?
Nah, man. I mean, there's no pressure for me. I mean, I'm still young with this, and I'm still learning my way. But that's not pressure is what that's what Alec Manoah said. You said he puts it. That's what you put in tires, right? For me, it's we're playing a game out there, so win or lose, we're having a good time. Obviously, we want to win some games and make a good run towards the World Series. But yeah, no pressure, man. We play baseball for a living. I mean, it's a blessing just to be out there.
So let's talk about the hitting approach. I know you talked about the scissor kick and how sometimes the plant foot isn't in the right place. So how do you fix that? And I know with guys that do a leg kick, they're generating more power with that. So what were you going through, and what were you trying to figure out with the leg kick?
Yeah, just trying to quiet it down. I mean, I feel like it was whenever I was lifting my leg, I was pulling myself out of my hip rather than engaging my lower half. And I think the biggest thing is just reps. Just consistency, trying to step in the same place. Like you mentioned, my scissor kick is pretty bad, so I think it helps me in certain situations, but I think I do lose a little bit of power. So a big thing I've been trying to work on this year is kind of just keeping my feet under me and driving through my back leg rather than kind of just letting it slide out from underneath me.
So will we see a bit of a different stance where the we don't see the kick as prominently?
I would say so, yeah, for sure. For sure, more so of just kind of a gauge to put me in the right position rather than trying to generate more power. We got Jordan Walker, we got Contreras, Nato, Goldie, we got some Bob guys. I need to get on base for those guys.
Yeah, but you also have power. You had 18 homers at AAA. And talking to your boy Walker, he says you don't know this guy's power. Like he's not even scratching the surface. Do you foresee that being a part of what you bring to the table down the road? Or you fine with just trying to be the guy that gets on base and then steals a bunch of bases?
No, of course, I definitely think the power will come. I mean, I obviously I had a decent year last year at AAA, and I'm hoping that'll translate to the big leagues. But I mean, as far as that juice being a prominent thing, I think it'll be a part of my game. Obviously, it won't be the biggest part of my game, but yeah, I definitely see myself contributing in the power column for sure.
If you follow your career and you look at the numbers, you at every level had huge success, but there was a learning curve, right? You started slow and then caught fire pretty much at every level. Do you have that sort of tucked away in the back of your mind as you try to get to where you want to be as a big leaguer?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, I was struggling up there, and trying to find the footing up there is difficult. But yeah, for sure, that's in the back of my mind. Of I've struggled before. I'm gonna get myself out of it, and then we're gonna get started. So I was hoping we could get it started at the end of last year, but we'll see if we can get it going at the beginning of this one.
I know you said at the winter warm up that you put on some muscle and you want to add more. Where were you in terms of your weight and where are you now? And then how did you put the pounds on?
So I dropped down last year. I dropped down, I want to say 168. I think I ended the season around 173 ish. And right now I'm 185. I want to push for 190. But really just working out and trying to eat as much as I can. I mean, we got a lot of good food down here in Texas. Got a lot of good Mexican food. Stepdad likes to cook, so yeah, man, just eating as much as I can, just trying to gain weight. Putting on good weight too. I don't want to put on any fat weight. I'm trying to gain some
Right.
muscle.
I get it. It's muscle. I mean, I put on weight, but it ain't muscle. So, I mean, are you lifting more? You getting stronger? Can you see those results?
100%, 100%. When I was growing up, I pitched so much I never really did chest, and I really started to develop that over the last 3 4 years in pro ball, and I think the power is probably coming along with it. But yeah, really just pushing as much weight as I can, man. Trying to get ready for the season, trying to get all my hard work done now, so then the season's easy.
What is the go-to food? You mentioned your stepdad likes to cook. What is the go-to food for you when you know you've been working out? You can eat what you want, put some weight on. What's the food that you're looking for?
Gosh, I'm easy, man. I like just some white rice. We got, my stepdad calls it poor man's steak. It's just hamburger meat. You just put it in a little circle like a little patty, and it's your little poor man's steak right there.
That's that's not bad. That's like a Salisbury steak. Sounds good to
100%.
me. So you mentioned your pitching. So the folks that don't know about what you were as a pitcher, you were as a junior in high school because then the pandemic hit, right? You were 13-0, like a 0.67 ERA. You had like 100 and some strikeouts and a handful of innings. You were legit. And then, and I was talking to some of your teammates too that had seen you when you had that brief time pitching, that your stuff is nasty. So you look at what Otani got, $700 million as a
Golly.
two-way guy. Now I know you're focused on being a shortstop and doing that thing, but doesn't it cross your mind that guy got 700 million, and I can be a two-way guy? Does it cross your mind maybe somewhere in the future pitching re-enters the picture?
Man, when he signed that contract, I think everybody wanted to become a two-way. But for me, I think the biggest, I tried it my first year. I think the biggest thing for him is he's such a large human being, and the position he plays. I mean, he can DH and hit 40 bombs and still pitch. I would have to hit 40 bombs if I want to be a DH. So I think it'd be really really hard for me to go from shortstop to the mound and back and forth. And I don't think I have enough power to be that DH position. So I think it's one or the other for me. But it's definitely a great fallback plan. If hitting doesn't work out, which God forbid that happens, but yeah, for sure, a good backup plan if ever needed.
Hitting is going to come around. We know that. So you also have this thing. You play a you play a high level defense at shortstop, and you do have a cannon for an arm. Paul Goldschmidt said the only time in his career that he ever got a little scared playing first base was the first time there was a close play at short for you because he knew that a seed was coming in. Tell us about your defense and what you thought of last year because I think you were really just scratching the surface.
Yeah, no, definitely excited about my defense. I mean, I started the year in AAA. I want to say the first 2 to 3 weeks were some of the worst 2 to 3 weeks of my career as far as making errors. But then I settled down, just kind of got my feet under me and did well. But Yeah, I mean, throwing to guys like Goldie makes it easy. I mean, I think that's how, guys win gold gloves and win platinum gloves is they have such a good first baseman over there. I would throw a ball, might have been a medium hop at 97, it might have been a sinker, and Goldie's making it look like it's a ball straight to the chest. So, throwing to guys like that makes it easy. It gives you a lot of confidence that, you just have to throw it in their vicinity and they're going to go get it. So, I love it. Like you said, I think I am just scratching the surface. Had a couple errors that were mental last year in the big leagues. So, cutting those down, I think just time will help me. And working with our guys, José Oquendo and Stubby Clapp. I mean, those guys are great. So, they get us right every year. I'm super excited to go out there and compete for my pitchers every day.
So when you have a rocket for an arm, I would want to show it off on every routine ground ball. How do you manage that where you realize I'm not going to go I'm not going to go full boat here?
Well, Justin Turner touched on this a couple years ago. Actually, he got mad at me for throwing it so hard across the infield in the futures game, and a lot of people hated on him for it, but he was right. So, my first year, I want to say I made roughly 25 to 30 errors, just trying to throw everything as hard as I could. And our guy, like I said, Jose Oquendo Cheo, he got me right, settled me down, and now it's like a nice 85%, only unleashing it when I have to. But just the consistency, I can't be as accurate if I throw it as hard as I can every time, and I want to be more consistent. Just try to put our team in the best position to win.
So I want to take you back to last year, August 18th. Your first major league hit, all the excitement of a major league debut, and you get an infield hit, and everyone's excited. And Pete Alonso tosses the ball in the stands. Now, that's a keepsake. Chris Conroy's going to get the ball. He's going to letter it up for you, make it display ready, make it all nice. And of course, Alonso said, I didn't realize, I didn't mean to. What do you remember about that moment? Because that's a big moment and then a weird moment.
For sure. I honestly I wasn't even thinking about the ball. I completely forgot that was part of it. Saving the ball and all that. I was more so worried about, am I on first base? Am I safe? I mean, it was, swing and bunt, got down the line, and I turned around with a big old smile on my face, talking to Stubby, telling him like, man, I can't believe that's my first hit, swing and bunt. Man, I wish it was a double or something. And next thing I know, he doesn't respond to me. He turns around, he's talking to Pete, chewing him out, and I don't even know what's going on. I hear the fans booing, I hear our dugout booing, and I'm just looking around. I don't know what's going on, and somebody told me later, but I was really just laughing on first base. Pete was apologizing. He was super upset, and I felt bad for the guy almost. Like that shouldn't have been what happened. But no, it was honestly a very funny memory for me. I'm honestly really glad it happened. I got a Pete Alonso signed bat out of it, so I'm
Nice,
pretty
good.
excited for sure.
And the ball, where's the ball now?
The ball is safely on my mom's display case. So yeah, we got the ball. It's all safe.
So tell me about your relationship with your mom and your stepdad. I had the pleasure interviewing them when you first came up. I know you talked a lot about them kind of helping you through, especially mom. Tell me about that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, my mom is one of a kind for me. And I call my stepdad, but that's really my dad. I mean, those two have raised me. My mom, she's been through so much. I'm the baby of five, so I got it the easiest. The other kids definitely had it tougher, but nah, I mean, my mom means everything to me. I mean, everything I do on the field, away from the field. As far as my character, how I am, I try to do everything that my mom would want me to do. She's definitely the light of my life. I mean, I've been with her every single day. I mean, I'm still coming back home to mama now, and I'm in the big leagues. So,
Good.
nah, great relationship, and like I really do play for her, and it just as much as I play for our fans.
Your middle name is Blaze. Do you know where that name came from? Where did she get that name?
All my brothers actually have colors as our middle names. So my oldest brother's middle name is Sky Blue, and then Jade. I want to say Jade is a color of green. I'm not positive, and then gray, obviously gray, and then Blaze is a shade of red. So that's I think I got the best one. But yeah, it's a shade, it's a color.
It's pretty good. So when you got that first hit, and I was looking at video in the aftermath, trying to see really if Alonso meant to do it or not. But I'll take his word he didn't mean to. But they cut away, and Ozzie Smith had a big smile on his face, and he's cheering away. And I know you understand the Ozzie Smith legacy, especially being a shortstop. Have you had much interaction with Ozzie, and what has that been like?
Yeah, I've actually met him on multiple occasions. So the first time I met him was last year in spring training. And I want to say there's some videos, but I was really out of breath. I was so just starstruck about him. So, and I don't really get like that. For me, it'd have to be Ozzie Smith or like a LeBron James. So, I was out there geeking out. I felt like a little kid again. But no, he was great. I mean, just the knowledge he knows and how humble of a guy he is. I mean, he's how legendary of a player he is, but to still go out of his way and have a little conversation with. I was a minor leaguer at the time, and um, obviously, he probably knew who I was, but just the interactions we've had, he's been fantastic to me. Growing up being a big Ozzie Smith fan, my dad loves him. So I grew up a big fan, wearing number one, and getting to meet him was unreal for me. I think that gave me, I think that put me light years ahead as far as confidence. I'm meeting one of the greats. I get to be around, in my opinion, one of the best infields of all time between him and José Oquendo as far as middle infield goes. So, I mean, I'm just so blessed to be a part of this organization where we got, these great alumni coming back and just such historic players.
So growing up, like the players that you emulated, was Ozzy in the mix? Who were the guys that you're like, yeah, I want to be like that guy?
Yeah, I had three main players, and these are easy off the top of my head. I was a huge Ozzie Smith fan. Like I wore number one growing up because of him. Um, And on the pitching side, I loved Marcus Stroman. Short black guy. I used to, I used to. That was my comp growing up. I loved him to death. I wanted to be just like him. And Jose Altuve as well. Another short guy, second baseman for the Astros. I know that's not a popular opinion, but being a Houston kid, I was a huge Jose Altuve fan.
Understood. And what's it like working with a Kendo? Because I mean, I don't know if anyone has more impact, especially working with infielders than Oquendo. But here's the thing too, he doesn't sugarcoat a lot. So I'm just wondering what it's been like working with him.
It's been great. I mean, you see so many videos of guys like Ron Washington going to work with his guys and stuff like that. And I can't speak to what they do, but I think what Cheo does with us and what he does to the minor leagues and the knowledge he has, I think is second to none. I think you know, he's out there. Like you said, he's hard on you. He's not gonna sugarcoat anything. He's not gonna take it easy. If anything, he's gonna make it a lot harder. And that's kind of what I grew up on. Grew up playing sports, and I was told if your coach isn't yelling at you, he doesn't love you. So that's kind of how I take it. I think Cheo has been absolutely amazing for me. And like you said, I think as far as an organization wide, I think the minor leagues defensively wouldn't be where we're at. I think we've had such a good history of defense, and I think he's a very big part of that.
I want to ask you about Jordan Walker because it's kind of been well documented. You guys are boys. How much of a plus was it to have Jordan with you as you guys kind of navigate Major League Baseball?
I made it easy, man. I mean, I've been playing with that guy for so long, so it's super makes it super comfortable. I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, he went up there and he didn't struggle at all. He went on that crazy hit streak, but for me, being around him, like I said, makes me way more comfortable. We've played so much together that just seeing his face or seeing his name in the lineup, makes me feel like I belong there. Um, it was great though, man. He made everything easy. He's a big, strong dude. So when I got there, I didn't have to carry any of my bags. He brought in the bats. He brought in, everything. So nah, he's a great dude, man. It's a blast playing with him. I'm hoping we can do it for a long time.
I can't remember if it was you that told me this or if it was Jordan who told me. But when you guys crossed paths early on as standout scholastic players in one of those showcases, you guys did not hit it off. So tell me about that and tell me how it got off on the wrong foot when you guys are so tight now.
Man, it's funny. He says that. I don't even, he's such a big, tall dude. I don't really remember Jordan Walker. I remember him being, he was kind of a no-name guy, didn't really have much, and then just all out of nowhere, he shot up to the number one player in the class. And after that, I kind of heard his name, but yeah, we didn't really hang with each other. We went to a prospect showcase together. Um, we weren't on the same team or anything, but yeah, we
No, but he told me he didn't necessarily like that vibe back then. And then, here you guys are such good friends. But back then, all right, so you don't even remember it, just to be
oh,
clear.
he
So
he
if
was I was a little troublemaker. I think that's why he was a good kid. I was a little troublemaker. We hung out. He hung out with he had some guys. I was hanging out with a different crowd though. We was balling. And my team, our team ended up winning the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know.
all right, maybe it was jealousy. Maybe it was jealousy. All right, last thing before we let you go. So right now, I think the Cardinals would like nothing better than for Masyn Winn to be the opening day shortstop and to hit, to run, to field, and do it all. What is your level of confidence that you can step in, given that opportunity? Spring training's still in front of us, but you can be that guy.
Oh, super confident, man. I never, even when I left, obviously struggled offensively. I definitely felt like I belonged up there. I definitely felt like I can compete up there. And, coming into this year, super excited. We got some great acquisitions as far as the pitching staff. And, I think our lineup is already stacked from top to bottom. I think it's going to be a hard lineup to make it through. And just super excited, man. I mean, seeing the guys we have makes me want to be out there, play for them. Score some runs, make some plays. Win a lot of ball games for this fan base.
I got to tell you, it was fun watching you last year, even though you were making some adjustments. I think the sky's the limit, and I'm really looking forward to watching you play this year. And I appreciate again you making time for this little chat.
Of course, thank you for having me. Always love being here.
Our guest is Masyn Winn. Before you leave, do me a favor, reach down and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time on Cat's Corner.